As of yesterday, Dan Clancy, the CEO of Twitch, said, Twitch failed in our response to the assault of Emiru at the 2025 TwitchCon San Diego, and in particular, I failed to communicate clearly in talking about the incident afterwards during an interview. The interview that we covered, I covered that 2 weeks ago. I do not believe and in any way intended to suggest that Emiru had any responsibility for whatever happened for the incident at TwitchCon. I have a great deal of empathy for what creators such as Emiru have to deal with every day. No, you don't, because if you had empathy, you would have shown that originally in the interview that we covered, okay? How about doing hardware bans on the people on your website who do horrible things and stalk, harass, and assault people? I was trying to express that, and I did that poorly. I'm sorry I let you down, Emiru, and I'm sorry Twitch let you down. We appreciate all that you've done over the years for Twitch, and we are committed to continue to improve our TwitchCon security, process, and communication so we can show up better for you and all of our creators moving forward. Now, Twitter being what it is, he got community noted. The CEO of Twitch got community noted on Twitter. I love community notes. It's one of my favorite things about this website. Twitch has lied on several occasions regarding the incident, letting an assailant go after the attack and withholding evidence from authorities. This is incompetence. Dan Clancy called Emiru a friend despite going on a victim blaming her, and was out partying during all of this. And it's backed up by other tweets here. I'm not going to go into it. Twitch also has a statement. Okay, the big old Twitchy Twitch. We want to follow up on a post that we recently made about security incident at TwitchCon. As many of you know, at the 2025 TwitchCon San Diego event, one of our value creators, Emiru, was assaulted by an attendee during the meet and greet event. Although Twitch works very hard to keep TwitchCon attendees safe and prevent incidents like this from happening, we failed to do so in both things in this case, to keep her safe and prevent the assault from happening. We deeply regret the distress that we caused for Emiru, our other creators, in the entire community. I bet Mizkif right now is like seething. He's seething that she's getting this amount of publicity from Twitch officially. While going through a lawsuit with Mizkif, because Mizkif just cannot stand people having any more fame or views or publicity than him. So he's probably going Hulk mode right now, putting some holes in some walls. In recognition of Emiru's advocacy, Twitch will be making a donation to support a non-profit organizations working to prevent sexual violence. More details to follow that soon. And as usual, Twitter, X, community noted it with more stuff backing everything up. Replied just under that tweet, "You just unbanned Nina Lin, who committed sexual assault live on camera twice. Nobody believes you anymore. Asmongold, how can we expect you to take assault seriously at your events if you can't even ban the people who've committed the assault 4 times on 2 separate people on your platform?" Cinnamon Toast Ken, glad you're making a 4th quarter tax deductible donations to organizations that fight against the very thing your platform is being criticized for doing so little to prevent. Wow, so brave. You unbanning a woman that has sexually assaulted multiple people contradicts your statement here, which it does. One of our value creators, you mean the young people that you bully into attending the meet and greets because they didn't realize that they're better than you? They lack the business experience to see that you were exploiting them this whole time and treating them like wage slaves. I do have to bring this, so I didn't mention this in my video, but apparently Emiru was forced to do her meet and greet, or else she would have lost a potential, I think it was on, there was something that Emiru had to do a meet and greet for Twitch, and if she chose not to do that, then she wouldn't qualify to do this other event thing at TwitchCon, or I think it was like a panel or something, or she had like I don't know. It's just another thing that she was wanted to do. She couldn't do that she wanted to do unless she did a meet and greet, and that was Twitch's requirement. That's what this is in reference to, which is phenomenal to me that they can exploit people like that in such a forceful way. Like, oh, you're gonna not be able to do this if you don't do this. It's like, okay. What's so interesting about this is that Twitch and the CEO have admitted here that they done goofed, right? They fucked up. And at this point, this opens the doors, a very big door, quadruple doors, triple doors, that opens the front, the back door, the side doors for a massive civil lawsuit. Emiru should sue Twitch from this. They admitted liability. And that's a huge thing. I don't think people understand when you have a company that admits liability. I don't know if they had a PR person help them write these statements, Twitch and Dan Clancy on their socials, but this admits and opens a civil lawsuit, which Emiru should totally do. And she could use those funds in this civil lawsuit to pay for her now defamation case that she's fighting against with Ms. Kiff. She's in a really good spot. I know some people are going to criticize me for saying good spot. She's in a good spot here, though. Realistically, like, she has Twitch by the balls, and it's all self-inflicted at this point. And I hope to God that she sues Twitch for this. She deserves it. Use the Twitch statement, use Stan Clancy's statement, use it in court, get a civil settlement, get $500,000, use that to pay for the legal fees in regards to the Mizkif defamation, and you're Gucci, because Mizkif's going to lose this thing anyway. What really perplexes me about Dan Clancy is how the CEO is still not resigned or been fired by Amazon. Like, I don't understand how much of like a... So for those of you who don't know, Twitch has been losing money for a long time, and they've been like hemorrhaging money from Amazon. Now, we all know Amazon is a gigantic multi-trillion, gazillion, jillion, billion corporation. And they just did massive layoffs of what was like 20, 30,000 corporate employees at Amazon. Corporate employees have been laid off. So I'm curious to what this man is doing to keep his status at Amazon. Like, do I sound like a conspiracy theorist at this point? Like, everything that has happened with Twitch and after Dan Clancy has taken over, and just the horrible things that have happened on the platform, and his inability to make things happen correctly or to enforce anything properly. Like, look, man, if I was a CEO and I had a person live on camera commit sexual assault, they would be banned permanently, and they would never be allowed on my platform ever again, period. Ever. You collaborate with somebody who sexually assaulted somebody on camera, you'd be banned, right? So, like, as somebody who had that much power of a CEO, I would make sure that my people are safe. And, like, obviously, you can't when you have a site with thousands upon thousands of people using it, you can't protect everybody. But if you have evidence of something that occurred live on stream and you ban them for sexual assault, how hard is it not to keep that ban? Why does Twitch even say they ban people? Realistically, suspended for 4 days or a week. Like, when you hear the word ban is a permanent thing. That's how I interpret the word ban, but it's not. They need to rephrase things to be suspended, because that's the reality. Like, the negative publicity that Twitch has over the last 2 years is so big at this point that even people who aren't familiar with streamers and stuff know about how bad Twitch is. And I think that says a lot about, like, the company's hemorrhaging money. They have a reputation that continues to fail and get worse and worse and worse. At this point, it needs to be sold over to someone who can adequately make the site better and treat people and enforce rules without breaking their own policies. Dan Clancy is an incompetent fool who's out of touch of reality, who can't get anything right, who admits to fucking up multiple times on the website. The decisions that Dan Clancy are making are damaging Twitch's reputation and causing the company to lose money. So at that point, when does Amazon say, hey, Dan, you're gone? We've been down this route how many times with empty words from Dan Clancy, with empty words from Twitch. Have absolutely no integrity left, Dan. And nobody, literally nobody trusts Twitch to do the right thing or to actually do what they say. And I think that as a company, you have completely, utterly failed thousands of people when you can't do the most basic thing, which is ban somebody permanently for sexual assault. I think just because you make a charitable donation to domestic violence, that somehow negates the fact that you failed people. I'm so sick of people who use charity money as this means of, look at this. I don't know if you guys know who Valkyrie is. She's another big streamer. She's dating Hassan Piker. She was in a bunch of hot water recently, and she went on stream basically because she was getting just ridiculed out the ass for some of the stuff that she said. And she's like, you guys, since you guys want to do this to me, I'm going to donate a big chunk of charity money to this organization. It's like, okay. Are we supposed to be, like, patting you on the back? Wow, a millionaire who's being called out for doing something shitty? You think just donating money automatically resolves you from saying something horrible? Or just treating people horribly? I swear to God, guys, these streamers are so out of touch with reality that I'm just going to keep covering them. I'm going to keep talking about this stuff. I cannot not talk about it. Anyways, that's all I got to say. That's the statement. That's the update from Dan Clancy and Twitch itself. What do you guys think? Do you guys believe Twitch? Do you think Twitch is really going to change at this point?